Thank you. So the choice of the percutaneous access is one of the most important steps for endovascular intervention because the majority of complications are at the puncture site, and it is crucial to choose carefully the access site depending on the location of the disease, the type of the disease, the status of the patient, for example, if the patient is obese or not, the age, and you have, several access sites. So the first one, the retrograde femoral access site, is the standard technique for intervention in the aortoiliac, renal, digestive, supraortic vessels, the most commonly used. And we can say that 80 to 90% of pelvic obstruction can be treated using this approach. It's safe, it's simple, and most of the time it's easy to find the femoral artery because we have a good pulse. But the puncture could be difficult if you don't have any pulse. And you have to puncture the common femoral artery 1 centimeter below the inguinal ligament, and you see the angle between 30 and 45, but no more. And if possible, do a single wall puncture, avoid the subintimal dissection. With a double wall puncture, you have a risk of bleeding, so avoid that. After obtaining a good pulsatile blood return, careful placement of the guide wire into the arterial lumen, and over the wire you insert your introducer sheath. So it's well known. But you have limitation for this technique. Sometimes we have a difficult femoral pulse palpation if the patient is obese. When you have severe iliac diseases, so maybe it's important to use the fluoroscopic image of the femoral region, and you can puncture the common femoral artery in projection on the medial third of the femoral head. So it's a good approach to do this retrograde femoral puncture. Sometimes you have also limitation with, I told you, with obesity, but with fibrous tissue, scars, difficult grain. So in that case, it's better to insert at first a small side sheath, for example, 4 French, and after that you increase the size of the sheath to 5, 6, 7 French sheaths, and use a stiff guide wire to avoid this kind of problem. Avoid higher suprainguinal puncture because you have a risk of retroperitoneal hematoma, and avoid also a lower arterial puncture because you have a risk of local complication, arteriovenous fistula, and increased risk of vessel occlusion. And by this retrograde approach, as you can see here, you can dilate all iliac stenosis, place, stent, etc. So it's a very good approach, well known. The second access is integral femoral approach. Technically far more challenging and sometimes difficult also in obese patients. Generally, it provides a more direct access to many lesions in the medial and distal femoropopetal segment and the infragenoidal arteries. It's helpful to cross very calcified lesions and allows a more precise navigation in the tibioperoneal artery. When you have a patent femoral popetal artery, it's the best way to access this tibioperoneal artery. But avoid also high puncture due to the same risk of retroperitoneal hematoma. When you puncture by this way, it's important to inject some contrast and to separate femoral profunda and superficial femoral artery, and you can direct the needle to the femoral superficial femoral artery with this kind of contrast injection. Crossover technique is also a very good approach. And for this technique, you use a shape diagnosis catheter. You turn your shape catheter. Here you turn your shape catheter, and after that you place an hydrophilic wire. You push your wire, and you can cross this lesion. And after that, you can exchange for on place wire, for example, and for over this hydrophilic or on place wire, you can place a crossover sheet, and you can advance this crossover sheet to place stent or to dilate, and also to go to the superficial femoral artery. It's a good access for superficial artery. What are the indications of crossover approach? Distal lesion of external iliac artery, not accessible from the ipsilateral common femoral artery, iliac occlusion after failure of ipsilateral femoral approach, or at first intention, maybe that's the best way to treat iliac occlusion. Multiple stenosis in iliac and femoral level, treatment of very proximal femoral lesion not accessible by Integrad technique, and it can be considered the standard technique for femoral-popliteal intervention. And when we have this kind of total occlusion, it's better to do by this retrograde contralateral approach. And you can see we can recanalize this femoral artery. And when we want to treat also this superficial femoral artery and profunda with kissing technique, kissing stent, kissing balloon is a unique approach. Advantage of this crossover approach, the retrograde arterial puncture is technically easier than antegrade puncture, associated with a markedly lower complication rate, and post-procedure compression applied to the contralateral leg. It is better to compress the contralateral leg. You don't have risk of occlusion when you compress the artery you have punctured. In the bilateral approaches also, it's important to do that when you have to reconstruct an aortic bifurcation, and when you have to do procedure in aortic segment. For example, this aortic segment, you have to place a stent here and two stents here. So it's important to do bilateral retrograde approach. Also here, you see the result after one stent here and two stents here. And also, at the bifurcation lesion here, you can do bilateral stenting by bilateral approach like here. So, indications for bilateral approaches: iliac occlusion, crossover technique, one side to recanalize the iliac artery, and a retrograde femoral approach, other side to snare the guide wire. So, you do retrograde approach here, and you can snare the wire here, and you externalize here, and you continue, for example, here, crossover approach, retrograde approach. You recanalize by this way, you snare the wire, and you continue balloon dilatation, and you can place by these two approaches stent in both iliac artery. That's the result before and after. Popliteal approach is also very important to know this approach. Because the indications are failure to cross total SFA occlusion by standard technique, and also for long SFA occlusion without visible patent proximal stump. So this technique is important, and the patient is turned to a prone position. You puncture the femoral to inject contrast, and under roadmap you can puncture the popliteal artery, and most of the time it's very easy. So prone position, you puncture the retrograde by retrograde with this popliteal artery, and by this way you can dilate, you can recanalize all this femoral artery in a lot of cases. One example, failure by antegrade approach. You can see that by popliteal approach, it was easier to recanalize this popliteal artery. Another example here, and we can recanalize all this retrograde approach, femoral artery. Transbrachial approach, another approach which is well known, important to use, and the indication frequently used in case of severe iliac obstruction, We can recognize iliac occlusion when you have failure after retrograde crossover approach. Some renal angioplasty in case of very angled artery. Digestive artery also when you have angled digestive artery, and also for supraortic vessel. Most of the time after failure or impossibility of femoral approach or from specific indication, like here, for example, very angulated carotid artery here or bovine arch here. So transradial approach also commonly performed worldwide for both diagnostic cardiac catheterization and coronary angioplasty. It's proposed for peripheral procedure, renal, carotid, but is it useful and safe? I will wait Dr. Khanna, who will speak on this transradial approach. But what are the accepted indications? So for me, limited indication for peripheral angioplasty is only very specific indication. We have some complications, spasm, hematoma, occlusion, and some failure. Transpedral approach, transcollateral approach, it's a well-known technique, but not for beginners. So I want to go fast with this approach. It's a very specific approach with 13 steps. So step one, you puncture the femoral artery above to inject contrast, vasodilators, you do angiogram, and under roadmap, you can puncture this tibial or perineal artery, and by this way, you can cross all and recognize the occlusion, and you snare or this wire, or you can place the wire inside this catheter. So by this way, you can do a lot of procedure to recognize leg artery. It's a very good approach, but difficult approach, and I repeat, not for beginners. It could be very challenging. An example, failure by this antegrade way, and by this collateral approach, you can recognize this artery with a very good result. And also, this double balloon technique by this way, when you have flaps, and you can break this flap by double balloon technique. So, to conclude also, you can do a direct puncture of the common carotid artery, but it's very rare and specific indication when you have very atheromatous plaque, and if you want to avoid manipulation of catheter in the aorta, you can directly puncture this carotid. So to conclude, the choice of the vascular access is crucial. Arterial puncture is the first step of the procedure, which may lead to failure complication. All the techniques must be well known. Several vascular access may be complementary to treat a lesion. Check carefully the puncture site after the procedure to detect quickly a complication and treat it. Thank you for your attention.